everyone, it's Sharonda from Pay or Wait, and today I'm going to be reviewing Claws Season 3, Episode 4, Boy Bye. And so Desna is saying boy bye to Roller, who she thinks has ghosted her. Little does she know that he's actually been kidnapped by Mac and Melba. They super crazy. They ain't playing no games with Desna. But she tries to put on the best face she can. We see that she's looking in the mirror. She's like, girl, you're not about to go out like this. Get your stuff together. We're not worried about him no more. And so she tries to put on the best fake happy face that she possibly can. But her girls can definitely see through it when she gets to the nail shop. And they're like, what's wrong with you? You got your fake face on. But when old dude called him a wigger after she told her like what she was like upset about, I was just like, y'all just too much already. And so she basically tells him like, I'm okay. I don't know why I thought that we could be together, why I even took him seriously in the first place. Like, I'm just done at this point. There's no turning back, no coming back from this. So we see that Desna goes to the casino, and we see that she tells Dean to leave Mac alone. Mac is trying to be some type of like mentor to Dean, and I really did enjoy the conversation that he was having with Dean. Basically, when he was asking him, like, they were finding some similarities because his dad left, and then he asked him, like, what did your dad teach you? And he's like, my father taught me the meaning of absence because, you know, their father walked out of their lives. And then when he asked him, like, was he bullied at school? And he was like, you know, they just didn't appreciate my uniqueness. And I thought that was a very interesting way to kind of admit that he was being bullied. But he introduces him to this game called Mahjong, and I hope I said that right. I actually used to play this game when I was a little kid. It was actually pretty addicting. It's a pretty fun game to play. And so he basically is trying to get Dean to enter into this tournament that they're doing at the casino, which we know Desna is not going to be okay with. But he starts playing the game. He actually begins to enjoy the game so much that he begins to ignore Virginia, who's been trying to get in contact with him all day, given everything that's been going on. So I'll go back to him because there's something he does at the end that really pissed me the hell off, but we'll talk about it, but it's okay. But going back to Desna, so she's minding her own business, trying to get through to Dean to tell him to leave Mac alone, but also because she's trying to get her mind off of Roller. So while she's sitting there minding her own business in her office, all of a sudden they hack her security screens, and then we see Roller and Mac and Melba. No, it's Roller and Melba crazy behind, and she basically tells her like, hey, I got your boo. Make sure you come along. Don't bring nobody because I don't want no problems. But of course, Desna goes to Uncle Daddy and Bryce, and Jen is talking to them about what happened. They trying to calm her down. Basically, they say, no, F being alone. I'm coming with you. I'm going to get like Roller back. So they all go up in there. It's a bad idea. Of course, they have cameras. They can see that she brought other people. And so basically there's gonna be hell to pay. And so they leave. And then essentially when Desna's minding her own business in the nail shop trying to figure out what they're going to do, she ends up getting a package in the mail, and it's basically Roller's toe because we heard him scream, but they didn't know what was happening. They were like bluffing what was going on. So we know that they chopped his toe off. I was like, they just don't give a damn at all. Just don't care. But that's why I like them as villains this season. So this time she says like, hey, like you need to go by yourself. Like whatever we tell you to do, you need to do. And when Virginia was like, but you know, black people die first in the horror movies. I was like, Virginia, you right, girl. But this ain't the time right now. She ain't got no choice but to do that. When Virginia's basically driving in this dark highway trying to get to wherever the hell the Mac and Melba told her to meet her at, we see these different versions of Desna in the back seat. But with her, one version was like, you about to do all of this just to go get some swamp dick over some swamp dick. And then when her other person was like, girl, go get your dick back. I was like, you know what, y'all? I felt every last one of you guys. But I was just like, she needs to go help Roller because they obviously love each other, even though they don't want to admit it themselves. But I love that whole little shindig, and then her telling them, like, get out of my head, like, move, go somewhere. So she gets a phone call while she's driving, and it tells her, like, hey, meet us off this exit, blah, 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 and then tell her to throw her phone out the window. So she throws her phone out the window. Then she gets to this creepy old cabin, and then she meets Mac and Melba, but Melba's there first dancing with a little taser. I was just like, girl, what? I don't understand why you do the things that you do, Melba. So essentially, Melba's like, come dance with me. Even Desna looking like, bitch, I don't want to dance with you. Just go ahead and get me rolling so I can go on by my damn all day. So she was like, come dance with me. And so she starts dancing with her. She tries to like get into her head and like apologize or like, what do you want? And so essentially Melba wants her to sign over her shares of the casino so they can have total ownership, and then they'll give her Roller back. So Desmond looked like she trying to figure out what she gonna do. Roller looking at her, Mac looking at her, Melba looking at her. I'm looking at her like, girl, you taking a long time to think about this. I mean, I understand like how you feel about Roller and the issues that you guys have had in the past, but if you want that Swamp Thing back, make it do what it do, break your back, you better go ahead and sign that line. So she goes ahead and signs the papers. And so then she's like, okay, like give him back. And they're like, hell no, you thought we was really gonna give him back to you? You've been too much trouble. He's been too much trouble. Y'all got to go. So they tase her. She passes out. They wake up in the bed together, her and Roller. They are tied to the bed. And so Roller obviously has an attitude because he like, excuse me, ma'am, what took you so long to sign them damn papers? Like, you had to take a second to think about it. And I just don't understand why there was even any extra added thought to your decision. And so they start going back and forth. She feels like he ruined her life. He feels like she's in over her head and she doing too much that got them into this predicament. And so they're arguing. And then they decide to work together. They're going to put the pettiness to the side. They got to get out of this situation. And so they like break open the thing. But before that, Lord, all of a sudden, we try to figure out what the hell Mac and Melba had in store for them to kill them. Lord, a poisonous snake started rolling up in the bed. And I was just like, that's too much. I can't take it. I literally had to look away because I was just like, I can't do no snakes. I just cannot do it. Snakes ends up biting Roller. Then he's like, I'm gonna die. She's like, you're not gonna die. And then they basically break the bed, they get away. Then they walk outside to realize that they took the car. And so they're walking. I'm like, how does Roller even have the energy to walk right now? Because I just don't understand how he could walk and he just been bit by this poison snake. Like, obviously his leg should be swelling up. On top of that, you ain't got no toe, pinky toe. And trust me, I broke my pinky toe before. And if you guys don't think that you use your pinky toe the way that you use your pinky toe, that is a lie. I'm sure he felt all the pain in the world. So in the midst of all of that, they try to get away. They start arguing again while they're walking. Then Roller passes out. Desmond's like, I can't lose you. I can't lose you, Roller. I can't lose you, boo. Yeah, that's all you guys really need to know about that. And I'll get back to the conclusion of what's going on with them. But in the meantime, can I talk about, actually, no. Before that, I'm sorry. I had to, one thing, Melba is super crazy because when she like hit Roller and then he like spit in her face and the blood hit her face. First of all, I was just like, that is so nasty. That is so disgusting. But then when she licked it and like, I said, bitch, you just licked this dude blood. You don't know where his penis has been. You don't know what he got. And then she gonna talk about you need to eat more leafy greens. I was just like, I can't deal with you. Melba is just on a whole nother level that I just can never and will never understand what is absolutely happening at this point in time. But we see that Dean's been treating Virginia a little bit differently. And then this gives way for her and EJ, who is Jen's baby daddy, for Brienne to get together because they bumped into each other earlier in the episode. You felt all the little chemistry, that sexual tension that was happening between them. He invited her out. She was like, that ain't no good idea. He was like, but here's my number. So then when Dean yells at her after she finds out where he's been at the casino playing his game, she goes to find EJ. He's singing this song saying, I'm thirsty for you, girl. So I already know she's gonna end up sleeping with him because Dean ain't paying her no attention. I assume that he ain't dicking her down either. So we already know what's going to happen, but I guess we'll have to wait to see when that actually goes down. But in the meantime, Uncle Daddy and Bryce, they still trying to do a healing thing. Uncle Daddy, since Bryce said I ain't got nothing to do with Jen crazy ass mama, he just having troubles because he reading signs. I was just like, sir, if you're like trying to help her, like this only talk would just make me want to go do more drugs because you suck at it. And so then we see that so he knows that her mom is there. Then we find out later in the episode, Jen realizes her mom is there too. She tries to go talk to her, lets her know she tries to talk to Bryce too. And so Jen storms in on Bryce's his little healing session that he was doing. Like, I know I told you don't talk to my mama no more. And then he's like, baby, I didn't do nothing. Baby, please calm down. I didn't do anything. So they make up, and I don't know what the hell is gonna happen to them, or if that's the last that we're gonna hear from her mom. But why can't her mama ever get Desmond's name right? Because when she was like, I can't worry about this and my best friend been kidnapped, I was just like, girl, you don't want to know Desmond's name? You just refuse to know like what Desna's name supposed to be? Okay, I guess I'll just let it go. But one of the fun parts of the episode, I just love Polly, y'all. Polly and Joe, they finally got it on. They had that chemistry. We saw it coming. They start kissing. Look like it's gonna lead to more to kissing. And then she stopped herself. But we see that Ken kind of finds out who she's dating, and then Polly sees Ken on a date in the casino. Then they end up getting into this argument in the bathroom. She was like, I don't want to be with you, but I didn't want to see you happy so soon. So I don't know, like, do you guys feel like she still loves Ken, or she really don't like Ken, or she feels as though, like, I don't know. I feel like she still loves Ken, but her saying that she doesn't want him to be happy with anybody else, I just thought it was weird. But I like her and Joe together, even though Joe was on the Mac and Melba's side. But we see that he showed some loyalty because she felt like he was trying to keep her busy all day, so their plan can go through with them kidnapping Roller and then kidnapping Desna. And so that, first of all, that whole detective scene that they had, they dressed up and went into the store, I guess to arouse themselves, dressed how they were, and then start making out after she shot this mannequin trying to scare this store manager. I was just like, why? But you know what? It's Polly. Okay, I was still here for it. I enjoy any time that Polly goes into a different character. I absolutely love her. But we see that he actually ends up telling them where to find Desna and Roller, because the cabin where they had them at is actually the cabin that Mac and Melba found him in when his mother basically abandoned him, which was really sad. And he tried to brush it off, and Polly's just like, no, that's not okay. Like, what happened to you? So I actually like them together. I know that they're on opposing sides, and sooner or later they're gonna have to make a choice. And then if Mac and Melba finds out what happens, because we see that Dean goes to Mac to tell him he wants to do the damn tournament, and then he gets like a little text, and he was like, who's that? Oh, it's just my sister nagging. I was just like, beesh, you didn't went and told Mac that Desna is still alive, because we see that they went and saved Desna and Roller. Polly and them got to them, and then they got the whatever little anti-venom that they needed to put inside of Roller. It makes him okay, and then him and Uncle Daddy seem to be fine, which is nice that they didn't made up. They did the little, you know, okay, I'm sorry. And then Roller and Desna finally tell each other they love each other. I'm like, well, damn, it only took 3 seasons for y'all to figure this ish out. But overall, I enjoyed this episode. I like when the villains get to play bad, when they get to be mean. Mac and Melba ain't nothing to play with. They just said, I don't care how many times you threaten me, I'm gonna get rid of you, girl. But I want to know how this plays out, because she's still alive. But also, too, she signed over her shares of the hotel. So is she gonna, like, go after that? Roller's trying to tell her, like, you should. But she just like, look, I almost lost you. I'm not trying to play with people no more. So I don't know how this is gonna end up. And also, too, what their plans are necessarily for Dean. But can we just talk about how I love how they dressed Desna? Bitch, you was killing that outfit. I said, yes, girl. Yes, up and down. Ow. That's not what it's supposed to be like. It's supposed to be like, ew. But yeah, okay, I'm sorry, y'all. Let me stop, because I'm just going crazy at this point. But overall, I really enjoyed this episode, boy, bye. I think we're really starting to figure out how big and bad Mac and Melba are. I like kind of where Joe is in between both sides at this point, because he has feelings for Polly. But I'm interested to see how all of this plays out, and I'm interested to see how EJ and Virginia gonna go ahead and get it on and get it in, okay? So, those are my quick thoughts on Claws Season 3, Episode 4, Boy Bye. As always, my name is Sharronda from Pay Your Weights, and if you like what you saw today, make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, share this video with your friends, and make sure you hit that notification bell. And I love you guys 3000. I'll see you soon.